I moved out of California at the end of 2021 because I wanted to see what it was like living in a different state. And we ended up in Texas because the cost of living was lower, there were no state income taxes, and it seemed like a fun place to live in. But we weren't alone. In 2022, over 100,000 Californians moved to Texas for similar reasons. And now that we've been here for a couple of years, I wonder how everyone's holding up. In today's video, I'm gonna be watching Californians who left for Texas share their thoughts 1 year later and see if I agree with them or if my experiences are wildly different. So let's hop on in.
The number of Californians moving to Texas has gone up in the past few years, but actually, it's been steadily increasing since 2009, and in 2018, that number jumped. If you added up all the people who moved to and from Texas within the United States, 34% came from California.
And that's why people in Texas hate Californians, because we're increasing their property values, which makes it very hard for Texans to buy properties there, and then increases the property taxes too. And unlike in California, property taxes get readjusted every single year. So there's a major increase in your general cost of living expenses just because more people are moving in.
Now, people from Texas have also been moving to California, but that number has stayed about the same over the past 10 years. So when we compare the estimated net flow of people between the states from 2017 to 2019, Texas has a 2-to-1 advantage.
And I wonder what this ratio is in later years, like in post-COVID times, because during COVID, a lot of people were able to work remotely, like myself, which is why I was able to move to Texas, even though I was from California originally.
Generally speaking, home prices in Texas cost less than half of homes in California.
Our home price in Dallas is about 1/4 of the value of our home in the Bay Area. So there's quite a huge difference there.
My name is Jennifer Balick, and I am from Ventura County. I am the mom to 6 kids. We are a blended family, a big Balick bunch. And we moved to Texas in April of 2021 to try to live the American dream. We were not doing that in California. Being a big family, we really needed the space to house everybody comfortably without, being super squished.
That is a very big family. And I mean, she's right. In Texas, you can get a much larger square footage for a much lower price compared to what you would get in California in general.
That's just not possible for our generation to live that American dream in that state anymore. It's so expensive that you're struggling every month just to get by and, pay your rent and your mortgage and put food on the table.
If you want to purchase a home, you typically need around 20% of the purchase price as a down payment, and then you need to factor another 2 or 3% of the total price as closing costs that go to pay for your loan fees, your appraisal fees, inspection fees, and to pay the title, closing taxes, and all that good stuff. And on top of that, you also probably need 6 months of your monthly payments as reserves, otherwise the lender won't give you the loan. So it's quite a lot to save up for. And on top of that, you also have to have enough income to justify having a big loan in the first place.
So far, our move has been excellent. I can't complain. We did the move from Paris, California to San Antonio, Texas in 26 hours. I lived 2 hours away from Disneyland. I used to go to Disneyland one day and spend $1,500, and I was already nervous the next day because I spent too much money.
Bro, why are you spending $1,500 at Disneyland? Like, that's insane.
How is it that I see families coming from Texas, from other states, and they're spending a whole week in Disneyland? Imagine what the cost it is to stay at the hotel, and they can afford to stay there for all week. And I live 60 miles and I can barely afford to go there once a year.
I'm real. I feel like his financial habits maybe aren't the best. Like when we go to LA, we stay in Airbnb, costs maybe $150 per night, and then tickets to Disneyland are maybe $100 per person. Which is pretty expensive, but we're definitely not spending $1,500 for just one day at a park.
Hey, it's Marie here, and it is Friday, February 11th, and I'm here to meet clients that are just about to go under contract. They've been waiting a few weeks. They've been on the waiting list for several weeks, and the builder actually is locking the doors because so many people want to come in because they've heard that they're contracting. So it was a big deal to get my clients in here today. When I start working, I usually go and check the Facebook group Move to Texas from California, and we add members into the group.
You see, she's actually really smart because she's in an industry that helps people move into Texas. I'm guessing she's a real estate agent. president, and she has 43,000 members, people who want to move to Texas from California, who all have questions about what's it like to live there, how do you get your driver's license changed, what does it take to actually move from one place to another, what are the best neighborhoods, etc. And she's able to have this big group and then get a lot of clients from here and make a lot of money. So really smart on her part.
We actually don't add every single person to the group. The reason that we do that is because we've had a lot of trolls in the past. There's actually like people that tried to get our group taken down because some people think that Californians are here to change Texas, and that's actually not the case.
You guys have no idea how many comments I get from people on my YouTube channel who say, keep Texas red, don't come here with your blue Democratic stuff, or remember the reason why you guys came to Texas. It's like, I'm gonna be real, I'm not a very political person, so I don't really care. But it's also kind of weird for other people to tell me what I can and can't do when I move to somewhere else.
With so many Californians moving to Texas, some worry the political makeup of the state is going to change. But maybe those worries are overblown. In fact, some people are moving to Texas because of their conservative values.
My name is Simon Black, and this is my wife, Brigitte Black. And we were originally from California. We had lived there our entire lives, 46 years. I was born in Berkeley, and my wife here was born in Walnut Creek.
I'm very interested to see what these guys have to say here. A little concerned that they might be saying things that are not to my taste. But, this guy was born and raised in Berkeley, normally a very liberal area. But, before starting this, they're saying that these guys move for conservative values. So we'll see what they have to say.
It seems that the environment politically in California has just been a one-party rule. Republicans have done absolutely nothing to change anything in any way, it seems to me. They've been cowardly about it.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was our governor for several years and he was Republican. So, there's that.
We lived in Los Angeles most of our life. We owned grocery markets. Unfortunately, my parents' grocery stores were burned down in the LA riots, two of them, near Koreatown. And so that was quite a traumatic experience for my family. A lot of things happened in between, but, we stayed true to California, the Golden State. California is, utterly a beautiful state. I mean, there's no denying that. Everybody that I know that has moved from California to Texas, they all say, yeah, we miss the beach, we miss the scenery.
Honestly, I miss the reasonable weather. Like, people don't realize is that obviously Texas is very, very hot during the summer, but during the winters, it also gets very, very cold. Like, my car has actually frozen over. There's like snow on the road, there's ice on the road, and it's like really inconvenient. Whereas in the Bay Area, we're typically seeing around 50-degree weather, even on our coldest days.
We moved primarily because of the crime. And for me, it was not only the crime, but also, the amount of homelessness, needles. I was assaulted twice on the BART. Those particular assaults, I really do think it had to do with the same kind of violence that I saw in the Bay Area towards Asian Americans.
That's why you don't take the BART. Usually in California, we drive everywhere. My wife and I have been fortunate that we haven't been, assaulted by anyone. But yeah, when you go travel to Oakland and San Francisco now, it has been worse lately. These homeless encampments have been getting bigger and bigger. It's like kind of moving along different streets. Yeah, the violence is definitely, I would say, in like the bigger areas like San Francisco, in Los Angeles. But the thing is, you also do have violence in Texas too, right?
I did think that I was going to stay here forever. I actually thought like I would die in my house, or something, like I was never going to leave. After the campfire, after doing some volunteer work up there, that was very hard for me. I just couldn't bear the grief anymore. It really broke my heart. It totally shook my sense of having grown up in this really safe community. All of this has been rebuilt.
All of this was burnt then.
Every single one of these houses was completely burnt.
I feel like if your house burned down and you're in an area that has wildfires, I would definitely move. Like, I wouldn't stay in this area and continue to have this like fear that there could be a wildfire that will burn down everything you have in your home. Texas is a nice place, I guess, if you want to move from there.
So we know they're moving. We know why they're moving, but is the grass in Texas really greener? Is that big move paying off, or are these former residents having buyer's remorse? We circled back to them a year later to see how they're feeling.
Okay, let's see the results.
I miss my friends and my family. That's the main thing. I mean, I miss the ocean a little bit, but
not enough to move back.
It's not that bad to go back to California because you do have Spirit and Frontier Airlines. It's like $100 to fly back one way, maybe even less than that. And you just go for a weekend, do what you gotta do, see family, and then come back.
We're a little afraid that we weren't going to make good friends here, but you know, I have 14 people coming to my birthday party this weekend. So we were able to make friends a lot quicker here. Yeah, we've been here like a year and 8 months now. My commute is 7 minutes to work. I have plenty of time to spend with my wife and, you know, help her with her business.
I wonder how I was able to make so many friends so quickly, because even though we've been there for almost 2 years, for us, most of our friends came from friends that we already had, and then we made friends of friends, or we met some friends at a conference who's also a content creator. And besides that, I don't think we made too many just like local friends.
Go get our fix on different food that we're missing from there already, and unfortunately I'm 1,300 miles away now.
So one thing that I do miss from Texas is California Mexican food. So you may or may not know this, but I think they have different like flavors in Texas. I would say it's more queso based in Texas, like a lot of cheese, whereas in California it's more like guac based or pico de gallo based.
The only way that I would go back is if my mom wouldn't want to come here to Texas with me. So depending if my mom really likes it here and we can make life, I would stay here in Texas. But if not, I would move back to California, or if there's a right business opportunity back in California. So it could be a maybe.
Yeah, I think in the long run, we will eventually move back to California. After all, I still do have a home there. My dad and his family is over there as well as my wife's family. So we definitely have a lot more roots in Cali than we do in Texas. And I think right now, Texas is more like a temporary spot for us to live in while we just explore the world and try different places.
My son has totally picked up fishing, loves fishing, wants to go to the pond to go fishing every single day.
That was one pretty cool thing about Texas is we actually went fishing at some random lake, and we caught a catfish, we caught some bluegill fish, and it was pretty relaxing, something that I've never done in California.
So that's kind of cool. Off the video games, doing something outside. I love it.
Okay, but in general, I hate going outside because there are so many bugs and mosquitoes and the weather is atrocious. So I'm gonna disagree with you on this one. Like, it is nice in Texas for maybe 3 months out of the year. After that, no, I'm staying inside for the most part.
Most people will talk about the weather because it's definitely hotter in the summer. They will talk about, we do have higher property tax percentage rates. It doesn't always mean that the amount they pay is going to be more.
The amount of property tax I pay on my Dallas property is almost the same as the property taxes that I pay on my California property, which is insane. And it's annoying that every single year it increases by a significant amount. That's probably one of the worst parts about buying properties in Texas.
You know, I really give it my best shot there. But if I don't end up making more friends there, I probably will come back just because I care so much about the people who are here. I did not sell my house here, so I left that option open.
And she's really smart. In the meanwhile, the value of her California property has probably increased more than the value of her property over in Katy, Texas.
Texas and California are both great places and they have different pros and cons. I might stay here, I might go back. And if you define the American dream as living in a big house on a big lot, yes, it's easier to live in Texas. But California is still a great place for people to pursue their dreams, depending on what they're looking for.
Like I mentioned earlier, my wife and I have lived in Texas for almost 2 years now. And again, one of the main reasons was because we wanted to try somewhere else. For me, I grew up in the Bay Area, went to LA for school, and moved back to the Bay Area and did most of my real estate stuff over there. And actually now, we're in the process of living in Asia for a whole year. Like, I'm in the process of taking Chinese classes. And the whole thought process is, for us, living a life is being able to travel the world, live and do different things. There was nothing that California had that Texas didn't have that made me miss California. Do you guys have any plans of moving from California to Texas? I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Take care.